This is the Little Moments Count radio podcast, created in partnership with community radio stations throughout Minnesota. Each episode, you'll hear interviews with early childhood experts on how to support the important brain development that takes place in the first 1,000 days of life, just through little moments every day. Learn more at littlemomentscount.org/podcast.
FM 89.9 KMOJ. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Walter Q. Bear Banks Jr. got you on the afternoon drive. There's no question about it. And letting you know right now, we're finna lock in with Little Moments Count. Now, Little Moments Count is brought to you and presented in partnership with Little Moments Count and KMOJ Radio. This is a statewide collaborative focusing on helping parents and caregivers learn about the importance of brain development in the first 3 years of a young one's life. Now, looking at nearly 80% of the brain growth happens within the first 1,000 days of a small one's moment of interaction. And we're talking about playing, we're talking reading, we're talking singing, all those physical movement kind of things. That's where it locks in at. And if you like more information, you can always visit at littlemomentscount.org. But this afternoon on the phone line, I got Dr. Artika R. Tyner. And I'd like to say a good early afternoon, and how are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Honored to be here.
No doubt. For the listening audience, I know who you are, but one of the things is you've got a lot of accomplishments when it comes to being a passionate educator, being an author, and then also a keynote speaker in a lot of key events, but then also on top of that, being an advocate for justice. So can you just give us a little bit of insight of some of those things that fall in that area when it comes to that accomplishment lineup?
For accomplishments, the greatest thing that I can say is I'm a daughter of Rondo. And when I think about being from the Rondo community, it means that we have an obligation to serve and lead in our community. And for me, as a lifelong educator, that means focusing on our babies, ensuring they have the tools not just to learn, but to thrive and reach their largest, the most wonderful dreams that are possible.
And when you speak on the thing on Rondo and the Rondo community itself and at large, can you speak a little bit about a big event that's going to take place that's dealing with the library in St. Paul? Because I know you do a lot of different things in a lot of different spaces, and this is one of those key ones that everybody need to be at.
Every first Saturday, and I'll say it again, every first Saturday, you have an invitation to join us. Our nonprofit literacy organization, Planting People, Growing Justice Leadership Institute, we host a Leaders or Readers program. And you may be wondering, what's that all about? Why should I travel all the way to the Rondo Library? Well, here I am to tell you. It's about the opportunity to get the tools that we need to support early learning and literacy. We also host a book giveaway with a special featured author. And in addition to that, it gets even better. We have community resources and a nutritious lunch for everyone. And we know that we want to make sure that this information is available and accessible, so everything is free of charge. So let's call it the Carnival Day of learning and fun for the entire family and community.
So now when we're looking at parents, we're looking at educators, we're looking at, those that want to get involved with helping the youth out there with, blooming and blossoming. Well, then what would you say some of the things that they could go at or do or try in order to help with that thing happening so that they get those tangibles that deals with life within itself?
It can start right here, right now, Q-Bear, with listening to Drive Time. If the children, the young scholars are in the car, here it is. Start with the simple things. How do we spell Q-Bear? Sound it out. Do the phonetics. When we hear the music, maybe asking the young people, which instruments do you hear? For instance, I had a young man, I introduced him to the genius of McCoy Tyner. And how did I do that? I started playing some of that smooth jazz. I said, what instruments do you hear? How do you spell the word jazz? So really, the idea is that learning can happen any and everywhere, but we have to, as adults and those first educators, give that introduction and create that space.
Now, when we talk about youngsters, we're talking about youth, but then also you have to extend that they're getting a lot of that from their parents, their grandparents, and the list goes on because, as a little one at a very young age, they're like sponges and they're absorbing anything and everything that comes around them. How important is it to show them about that 4-letter word of LOVE and growing in life?
Oh, that four-letter word is the anchor. It's what I was nurtured by, that love. And that love of learning, that love of community, that love of service, it starts at home. Oftentimes we say it takes a village to raise a child. Now is the time for our village to continue that work, to give that inspiration. And yes, when I think about literacy, that's one piece of learning, but also that love word is about that nurturing. That is the foundation of learning. I was nurtured to learn. And when I say that, that love inspired me to be able to say, okay, I can try new things. I can learn something new. So that's what it's really about in our work in planting people growing justice, spreading that love and making sure the village is strong and surrounds our children with everything that they need.
And I know you feel real strong when we talk about the word Rondo and the Rondo community, just like I do about the North Side and NFL and North Side for Life and not the National Football League. So when it comes to Rondo itself, what would you say to your community if you know that somebody's listening right now when it comes to the youngsters and just helping all the community to grow?
Well, the first thing that I would say, we're Rondo strong. And when I think about that, that leads us to being Rondo proud. That oftentimes our story, as we think about the displacement of our community with the construction of I-94, the 1956 Federal Aid Highway Act that led to this, many people then say we're a Rondo was. But I would tell the young people in the community of Rondo, whether it's Rondo or the North Side or the South Side, there's no was here. There's no past tense. We're becoming. We're becoming even greater each and every day because each of us has an opportunity to celebrate our cultural pride. We have an opportunity to build new ideas and to inspire our young people to go further faster.
Now, when it comes to Rondo Day in the community itself, and the reason why I say Rondo Day, because y'all got a day over that way that's quite amazing, just like the South Side and the North Side as well. But when we're talking about the event that's coming up and talking about Rondo Community Library in St. Paul, give us that information again. And if someone's listening and they'd like to get in contact with you or find out more information, what can they do?
It is my pleasure to invite each and every one of you that are listening today during Drive Time with Q Bear, December 7th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Join us at the Rondo Library. It's located on the corner of Dale and University. We'll be featuring a book related to the importance of STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Why is that important? STEM careers are growing faster than all careers combined by 2 to 3 times. Let's make sure we position our young people with the tools for the careers of the future. So once again, December 7th, free community building event. You get free copies of the book and meet the featured author, yours truly. I'll be sharing my latest book, Kojo Loves Science, and we'll have science experiments, we'll have free lunch, we'll have free books, we'll have free community building, and most importantly, as we're talking about the importance of little moments counts, we will also be providing the community with tools to help our youngest readers and leaders gain the foundation of literacy.
No doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Dr. Artika R. Tyner. And I'm telling you, she is definitely one of those amazing ones when it comes to getting an opportunity to just sit still and take a moment and have a conversation. And I want to say thank you very much for you doing what you do, doing pretty much everything that you've done, that because all I've seen has been accomplishments, accomplishments, accomplishments. And I like to just say hats off to you and keep running it strong. But before I let you go, because I know somebody's listening right now and they say, I need to get in contact with her. How can they do so?
The best way to get in contact with us is our website. It's Planting People Growing Justice. So ppgjli.org. That's ppgjli.org. You can also follow us on social media. We're on TikTok, we're on Facebook and Instagram, and also, as you're reading the community newspapers, you can find our articles there for more tools on how to inspire our young people to read and lead.
No doubt, no doubt. Thank you very much once again, and you have a beautiful week, all right?
Thank you.
No doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like more information or recording of this particular show here, you can go to littlemomentscount.org/podcast, or you can just lock in on the website at littlemomentscount.org. It's FM 89.9 KMOJ, no doubt about it. It's the People's Station.
Thanks for listening to the Little Moments Count radio podcast in partnership with community radio stations throughout Minnesota. You can find the Little Moments Count radio podcast wherever you get your podcasts and at littlemomentscount.org/podcast.